Well, hello, hello, hello. Welcome to another edition of Conversations with KoGi. Today, I have my guest, Nekayba. How are you?
Hello, I'm doing well. I'm Nekayba. My pronouns are she, they. And today is a good day. So I'm excited.
I love that. And Nekayba is the treasure from Queer Black Women Alliance. I'm so glad you joined me today. I've been wanting to speak with you all for a very, very long time. So I'm so glad you made some time and some space for me. Please introduce to our audience who are you and what you do for the organization.
So again, Nekayba, I am the treasurer of Queer Black Women Alliance. We are a new nonprofit here in Austin, Texas, and what we do is create a safe space through community engagement, social events, philanthropy, such as mental health awareness, um, and providing free and reduced mental health resources to queer Black women here in Austin. So we do a lot of things. If you've ever been in Austin, you've probably seen us host different events, such as like our speed friending, our family friendly events, such as our monthly hikes, and
Mhm.
our monthly bowling meetups. So we have a variety of different events that we post and host, and um, all of that is to fund us giving grants to queer Black women who are have their own businesses or continuing education or just need support financially. So everything that we get in, we love to give back out to the community.
Wow, that is amazing. And I mean, that is a huge take, right? That's a huge task to take on. I mean, Austin is, I love Austin, by the way. It's a huge city, it's a vibrant city, and I feel like I've been there several times, and I always felt like there wasn't a space for me. I really didn't know where to go, right? I really wasn't sure where, not that the acceptance wasn't there, I just wasn't sure where to go. So, an organization like yours, I feel is very important. And I'm so happy y'all were founded. So, thank you from the bottom of my heart. And I can't wait to come back to Austin so that I can go to the bowling events and the hikes and everything. So tell us, when exactly did the organization get started and how? Because there's no way you just said, hey, I'm gonna hike, I'm gonna do all these kind of things. I know there was some kind of huge process that had to take place. How did all these women come together and decide to make this happen?
Yeah, so our president, Arja Rashid, she basically started a group chat, just, finding people, seeing who was interested, other queer Black women in the neighborhood in the area. Um, and she started a group chat on Group Me. And
Mhm.
so in 2021, that is basically what Queer Black Women Alliance was. It was a small chat of maybe around 20 people, and
Mm.
it was just a place for those queer Black women, that group, to just like talk and actually connect and create that place where, like you said, there aren't a lot of spaces that are catered to us or that are advertised to us as places that we can like patron or places that we would be accepted. And so when she created that, we've just been adding people. People have been referring others, so they refer their friends or people they know that are moving in. If they work somewhere and they see another queer Black woman, it has literally
Right?
inspired someone to like talk to their coworkers and be like, "I think you would be perfect to like join this group and have community with us." And
Mhm.
so it moved from a group chat in 2021 In October 2022, we
Mhm.
decided to the president came to me and a group of others that have been during the inception of the group basically to see if we would want to basically transport it to another level, move it to another level. So we decided to become a nonprofit, and we've really been working on a lot of those processes, such as transitioning from a social group to a more business oriented model,
Ooh.
and it's been an incredible journey.
I mean, I can only imagine. So y'all have a board, right? An
Yes.
actual board. You're the treasurer. How many women are in your board?
Yeah, so we have Arja, our president, myself, the treasurer, Katavia Femster, who does social media management. We have Hadassah Romius, who does grant writing and fundraising. We have just brought on a new board member, Jessica White, Reese White, Jessica Reese White, and
Okay.
she's going to take over the treasurer role. We have Annette Jean, who does, she's our secretary, so
That
I
is
like
a
was saying
lot.
everyone's name. We have it kind of there's around like six of us, and we're a really good board. We're really close, and we are honestly all just trying to figure out these processes, and it's really new for a lot of us. So it's a working board. It's a trial and
Wow.
error board,
Mhm.
but it is a very supportive board.
That's what I was going to ask you next is like, how do you navigate trying to balance all the duties? And I'm sure, I mean, I don't know, is this a full-time position? I know it's volunteer based, or I mean, I don't know the business of it, but is this full-time? How do you navigate if it's not full-time? How do you navigate work, this organization? How do you do that?
So it's not full time. Again, we've a lot of it is trial and error. So when we first started,
Yeah.
I think we went really hard. We were like,
Mhm.
every week we have to have like 2 or 3 events. Like
Yeah.
we were really pushing ourselves as a board. And every person on the board, will host
Yeah.
events or, plan the events and then create an entire series. So we were doing a lot at first. And it was, at the time, I think really 5 of us. Um, and then we started to recognize that with so many options so consistently, we're not able to be consistent. We, have to work on stuff in the background, working on a little more of the administrative things. So we actually basically just took data from the amount of participation, and this is how we're pretty much always going to do, but see how much
Right.
participation we get on certain events or during
Mhm.
certain um, even like time periods, like certain seasons. We're coming up in winter, like we're really focusing on building that connection. But it's not a full-time position. It is part-time, and with how we're basically creating these systems of these are more consistent events, it's a lot easier to plan around, okay, this is what we know we're gonna do. And then we can plan maybe 1 or 2 things extra on top of that per month.
Okay.
And I'll also say another great thing is that we have an amazing support team that
Right.
we go to for them to like do some of our more consistent events as well. Like Venus, she does our yoga every second Sunday of the month.
Yeah.
And then we have Lex and Jaretta who do our healing circles every fourth Sunday of the month.
Mhm.
And they're wonderful additions to our team. They're wonderful help, and they help us like reduce a lot of that feeling of having to be there and host and there, so it's been a mixture of just time management and figuring out what we are getting, traction with, where we're getting interest and where we see interest, as well as just kind of outsourcing in a way. So just
Right.
really asking for more of that community and membership
Mhm,
commitment,
mhm.
and volunteer help. And so it's been really nice. It's been-
And it also sounds like it's very important for community to get involved as
yes,
well. Um, and so I think for me, that's another reason why I wanted to reach out to you all, because I think it's important for when you recognize someone else who's like you, we have to do more connecting with people so that we can get the word out, so that they can go, "Oh, I live in Austin. Hey y'all,
right,
I'm here." You know what I'm saying? Or
right,
if there's someone else that's watching in Atlanta and
hmm
they're like, "Hey, I know y'all not based here. Have y'all ever thought about expanding?" Like, I mean, the whole purpose, I think we live in a time where there's not enough of us that is
right.
helping us. Like, would you agree, especially in our community? I feel like we're really lacking a lot of networking within each other. Like you said, seeing Austin not having that place for us to cultivate and gather and nurture each other. I feel like this is something that can be in other places. Have y'all even thought about outreaching in other cities?
I think that well, to address the first portion, I think
Mhm.
that, we've done a lot of collaborations within this last year. And
I
we've
love
learned a lot through those collaborations, just, how to be more transparent on our end of what we need, how to basically communicate with other organizations that may be on a similar path or have a different goal than ours, but like the event we're creating is for one similar goal. And we've learned a lot through collaborations, but I will say that I feel as though we've had a lot of interest to collaborate with our org, from orgs similar to ours and
it.
orgs that may not be 100% in not not in alignment. We make sure we're aligned with
I
all of
know,
our orgs,
I
but
got you. I know
um,
what you're saying
yeah,
though. I got you.
yeah.
Yeah.
So
So if it's like a space of mental health, you're aligned in mental
right,
health, but
right,
not
we're aligned in mental
necessarily
health.
aligned.
Right, right. We might not, they might not be a queer org and we are a queer
Mhm.
org, but if we're both, yeah. So those kind of things. So
Mhm.
it's been, sometimes it's been challenging, but not in any way that's been detrimental, I think, to either org or either, or even the event itself. So
Mhm.
we've really, I think, been very blessed and like we're very grateful for all of the opportunities that we've had to collaborate this year. It's been very amazing actually, the amount of outpour of support. And then for the second portion, um, you'd asked,
Any
uh,
outreach from other cities? Like, are you thinking about expansion at
um,
all?
so we are thinking about expansion probably within the next 3 to 5 years.
Yeah.
It's not something that we are currently working on, just because we're currently trying to get 501(c)(3) status, and so we can
Wow.
be like recognized as a tax exempt
Mhm.
nonprofit, so we can get those grants and we can start funding things even more. So
Okay.
that's our main focus. Okay, that is the short term goal. The long term goal within 3 to 5 years, though, is potentially looking for that expansion, even if it's just within Texas. Like we have some members that come from Houston at times, we have members that come from San Antonio. And I think within those, once we get the like mechanics ready of like how we're applying for grants and how we're able to fund a lot of these things, that is definitely an option and what we're looking for to do next. But it's going to take some time.
Oh, definitely. Definitely. And I think that's important when it comes to business. Would you say that one of the biggest, if you had to pick three key, three keys that it takes to be successful in a new business, what
Mm.
are three things that you have learned? What does it take to be successful? You've only technically what, 1 year.
One
In this
year.
first year,
Mhm.
what's three keys you've learned?
Oh, yes, that's a great question. Yes, this first year, one of the one of the 3 things. The first is to surround yourself with other leaders that are different from you. I think when we started this journey, um, you know, the president and I have totally different leadership styles. And then the way we look at things is, I will say that she's way more direct with like, this is the goal, this is like the clear, immediate solution. And I like to not be moderate, but in some situations, it's best to like, I definitely don't play devil's advocate. I don't want to say that, but it's more like I do see both sides and try to present both sides of, it's not just right or wrong. There's
Right.
some gray area.
Mhm.
And then we have someone else on our team that is um very like socially active, and she's always aware of like how it would look to the community, how it would
Um,
feel for the community, really like advocating for that. And we, I think all of us have very different ways in which we view the end goal. And what that does is creates a very honest discussion, and it creates those different perspectives so that you're not really talking into a vacuum. You're not talking into an echo chamber, right? So I think surrounding yourself around leaders that have a different style or different
mhm.
way that you would approach an issue is one of the top things that I've learned in starting the the business journey. And not to say like there's never really any argument or anything. It's just more
Right.
the perspective, can
Mhm.
change how you view a situation, and then you can be like, oh, like you could take a step back and you can say, oh,
Right.
I didn't see it in this way. And then
Yes.
when you come together in a consensus, like something that aligns with each of you, it's usually the best answer. So that's the first thing. The second thing I would say to start a successful business, write down everything. Make sure that, specifically because I'm the treasurer, it's mostly like, I'm really focused on how the money's coming in and out. So make sure you have a, steady account of that. Keep your receipts, document everything. Just, and also just create those systems in the beginning that can protect you in the end. So like we're starting with, we wrote the bylaws, we wrote the corporation of, the articles of corporation and everything. And so there are times where we have to go back to the drawing board and make those amendments and be like, oh, we didn't think about this, let's type this up, let's make sure that as we
Mm.
continue to grow we are saving ourselves. So constantly elevating by just writing things down and making those changes as needed
Mhm.
is very, very, very important. Write everything down, document it all.
I
It's
love that.
it will help you so much. And then the last thing I would say is be patient,
Yes.
and take a breath. Uh, when we're doing this work, it is very important. This is very important work, and it affects so many people. But because of that, it is our duty to make sure we are presenting the best possible like outcome, presenting the best possible situation. And at times, I think because we're in America and everything
Mm.
has to be so quick and everything has to be very productive, um, we tend to just respond quickly or try to appease everyone all the time. Um, and we try to do it so quick. We try to like with the potential expansion. 3 years is still kind of that's pretty like soon if you really think about it. This 4 years went really fast, and so I think just being patient and like going to those opportunities as they come to you, putting yourself in the rooms where things are happening, and just learning and enjoying the process will be the best. That's my last little tidbit, I think.
I love, listen, that that was perfect. No, honestly, because I was waiting to hear, honestly, this is what I wanted to hear, the patience part,
Mm,
because I have so much anxiety, which is what I was telling you before we
mhm,
started. My anxiety can be crippling sometimes for me.
mhm,
Um, and it's unfortunate because I feel like I can close down a lot.
right,
Anxiety can really halt communication.
right,
And when you are in a circle, and I'm calling it a circle because you can have 10 people that own a
mhm,
business. If it's not a circle, it ain't going to work.
right,
It has to be a circle. It has to be a round table of partnership,
right,
right? Um, Even though you may stray off and whatever, but we have to come back to the round table at some point. And
right.
with anxiety, sometimes it cripples you to the point to where you don't know how to get back to the round table. You
Hmm.
understand? And
Right.
so that patience that you're talking about, it's very important. So I was reflecting as you were speaking because I really have to work on that part. So I thank you. That was very well said. And the bylaws, like, so I have to ask you, so is there someone in the group, would that be you, who is very familiar with writing everything for your corporation, or was it research? Listen, Google and the library, okay? Google and
Hmm.
the library is your
Hmm.
friend, okay?
Okay.
So I
Yes.
didn't know. I didn't know if there was somebody in the organization who had all the skills, or was y'all up at night doing the Google, doing the library, and putting all these
It's
bylaws together.
it's a lot of both. I will say Anne and Ari have done they're both about to go to law school, so
Oh, I
congratulations
love
to them. Yes.
congratulations.
Black women,
Black women,
black lady
come on.
courtroom.
That is
So
hot.
yeah, they're going to law school, and they have really taken um the brunt of doing a lot of that work of figuring out how to write articles of incorporation, figuring out how to write bylaws, amendments, doing a lot of the legal filing. I would
Mm.
say it was a lot of them doing a lot of that legwork and bringing it to us. Now, we have our board meetings, and we're all sitting there like, how do we add this? How do we like when we first started? How do we?
Yeah.
I need to amend this. I don't like the wording of that. So it was a lot of give and take, but I would say they did a lot of that legwork of saying like, what is it needed? What is needed in the state of Texas to make this legal? Who should we go through to like do our filings and everything? So yeah, Anne and Ari really took the lead with that. And then when we would do our board meetings, it was very much let's sit down, let's talk about what are some problems that we can foresee, what are some things that um, we want to make sure are safe within our organization, and making sure we're staying as legal as possible. And again, this is a learning process for all of us. So there's bound to be a mistake. There's bound to be something that we have to go back and change. But it has honestly been really amazing to be able to work with these talented and very intelligent women. So yeah, yeah, it was a lot of that, a lot of
And
collaboration.
and I'm sure for you there's a lot of I mean, I'm sure you know who you are. You came into it. I mean, that's the whole point, right? When you already know who you were. You knew who you were when you entered the group chat, and that was the beauty of it, right?
Right.
But I'm sure in a way you also grew so much as a
Mhm.
person as well. It kind of gave you more assurance. I always tell people, like, yeah, I know that I'm a black lesbian, a woman, and but I still feel like I'm growing. Like I'm still
Mhm.
learning. I'm still
Yeah.
learning who I am. Like the more I read, the more I am still learning and growing into my queerness, into my gayness, like into, so I don't know if that's you too. Like I don't know if I am explaining it right, but sometimes, you know,
Yeah,
I don't know if
I
that makes sense.
definitely, I think, especially within this year, I've had a lot of just personal changes, and kind of going through one now. I'm like moving, and it has really a lot of what I've went through has put a mirror to me of
Mhm.
like, is who are you?
Yes.
And I think that happens. Haven't had a moment like this in a while where that mirror has really been brought to my face, maybe within like in 5 years or so. Like I just turned 25 this year. So, you know, this is the year they say is hard and it has
Woo.
proven to be so. But I've also, um, I think the one thing about myself is that I've always been pretty sure once I make a decision, that is the decision I'm going with. And I don't like to question it because I don't want to live with what ifs and regrets and everything. So, um, and most of the decisions I've made in my life had led, they've led me here. All of the
Yeah.
decisions I've made have led me here, and they've led
Yeah.
me to a place where um, I am happy and I am healthy and I am able to do what I need to in order to get through life. Would I want something better? Of course, but we're working on that. So I think I'm constantly just kind of going through little changes, and
Yeah.
I think this year is going to be a big change for me. But
I love that. I
yeah,
love
yeah,
same, same. I think so too. I feel you. And the thing about it is, like, you're 25, I'm 45. So I'm like, that's what I'm saying. Like, listen, I'm 45
yeah,
and I still feel like learning, growing. That's why I said, like, life, it never stops. You
it never
never
does.
stop growing. The idea that at a certain age you stop learning and growing, no, that's bullshit. Like, that's not the case
Hmm.
whatsoever. And just because you are younger or older, like, we learn from each other. Like the things
Yeah,
that you're sharing with me, I feel that is exactly why I started conversations, is because I feel like we have to start pouring into each other more as
right,
a community. We have
right.
to start pouring into each other. We can't hold on to the juice. We can't do it. We can't hold
Can't
on
do
to
it.
the juice, neck, but we
Can't
can't
do
do
it.
it, girl. Listen, if you holding on to the recipes,
How everybody else gonna eat?
how
Yeah,
everybody gonna eat, girl?
yeah.
Listen, how everybody gonna eat? So I
Mhm,
think for me, like, I did want to talk about this before we end our conversation.
mhm,
The parental grants.
mhm, mhm,
I I was reading on that and I was so, because being a parent myself, like, he's 25 now. But if
but, he wasn't 25 the whole time.
listen,
Yeah,
if I had something like that years
yeah,
ago, oh my goodness. So, and I know it's a lot of women out there that could, that are like us, that could use that kind of support. Can you please tell the audience about what that grant is?
Yeah, so our parental support grant is a grant for our Black queer mothers uh, who are Black queer parents as well, who are really trying to um, make ends meet, trying to figure out, what to do next. Times are hard. The economy is a lot, and we're funding a lot of things that aren't, supporting the people in this country right now.
Mm.
Um, and basically, that grant is anywhere from $250 to $500, and it will be awarded to, I think, around either one or two parents in the cycle. And really, all that we ask is that you're a parent and you put in, your you know information like your name, um, age, the your babies, and it's kind of random. So once you like get through that screening process, like, and you meet the qualifiers of being a queer Black parent, then
Right?
we will, yeah, then we'll just do like a random drawing through that, because just right now we don't have the funds to give to all the parents, but it is just a way for us to support in
Hmm.
a even more marginalized group. Like, to
Right?
be queer and to be Black and to be woman, you're already in those like very hard intersections. And then to potentially be a single parent, or just again a parent in this very wild time, and Lunchables are like $4, and it's just
Girl,
crackers and cheese and some lunch meat, and they're four
listen.
dollars in some places, and it's just like, that's ridiculous, So if we can give a little bit of assistance, a little bit of relief,
Mhm.
to be like, especially Christmas is coming up and stuff. So even just to be like, I paid my bills, and this is going to be the money to make sure that,
Right?
we have a good Christmas.
I
We
love
we
that.
want to do it all.
I love
So yeah, we that's let me look up really quick
Mhm.
something. So look up really quick. I want to give all the correct information. But yes,
Okay.
our parental support grant is open currently. From It's been open since September 1st, and it will be closed December 15th. And again, like I said, we'll basically figure out how much money we have to give to determine how many people can get like the $250 to $500 just like grant stipend. And if you're a Black queer parent, do what you wish when you win the money. It's just to make sure that you are feeling support from us, and that you know that we're here to help, um, just boost you, just help boost you up.
And that is honestly what it's about, because you are so right. Like Lunchables, it's ridiculous. I mean, crackers, bread is $4. Like we can't even
Right.
get honey. We can't even get honey wheat bread and lunch meat, mayonnaise. We can't even put.
Okay.
Listen, we can't even put sandwiches together. Like this is
Hmm.
ridiculous out here. They finally made eggs $2 again, but then when you get the bread to make the egg sandwiches, it's ridiculous. Like
It
for
is.
real.
It
And
is.
the thing about it is, I remember when the Obamas were in office and Michelle was like, "Okay, we need to eat more fresh fruit." And okay, sis, I'm with you, but girl, that's expensive too. Like
Yeah.
it was
Yeah.
like, y'all go get some carrots and some apples and some lettuce, and I'm like, mm-hmm, yeah, girl,
Mhm.
but girl, when it's hard times, I need to go get some Raymonds and some
Mhm.
but,
Yeah.
but
No, for sure.
but then of course, thank God, you start getting a better job, but for others, it's not like that.
Yeah.
So the fact that your organization has recognized that for Black queer parents, which, like you said, honey, that's strike one, strike two, strike three, single, strike four, like strike, strike,
Right.
strike. And so I appreciate the organization for recognizing, and any money is just a blessing, especially in these times. Cost of living is high and the wages aren't raising. The
No.
raising ain't raising. Okay. So okay, that 5% maybe it ain't doing
It's not
nothing
doing
when the
enough. It's not doing enough
listen,
for sure.
listen, when the rent is going up 200 and that wage going 5%, I don't know how much that's helping, but
Right.
so I appreciate you so much, and everybody, for coming on the show, spending a little time with me, giving me those gems. I always love when people give me some gems, because that be the main clips right there. I'll be like, y'all get this gems. Listen to this clip. Y'all hear this clip? Y'all go ahead and watch this on Tuesday. So that three
Right.
keys that you gave me, listen, that will definitely be on there. Please let the audience know before you go, my sweetie, where they can find you, where they can find the
Mhm.
organization, and
Mhm.
yeah.
Yeah, so you can find our org at queerblackwomenalliance.org. That is our website, and that website will literally take you anywhere. So if you go to the website, there are going to be the three little like menu tabs, something like about us and more. And on that, you can go to our social media where you can join our group chat. Our group chat is like you have to be accepted from one of our administrators before you can join. And we just ask that you be a Black queer person. So, like woman, non binary, trans, doesn't matter. But we just, we do want the space to remain Black. And then with, and then you can find everything else as well. Our Discord is a lot less talkative. So our group me, if you like love to interact with people, definitely join our group me. If you're just wanting to get the
Mhm.
updates, the highlights, join our Discord. You can find our Instagram and Facebook page as well on our website, as well as ways to donate to us because we are always taking donations. So that way we can fund these
Yes,
events as well as these grants. And you can
okay.
share the donation tab with everyone. And then how you can
Yes,
find me.
I need to yes, please email me. I'm sorry to cut you off, but email me. Is the donation link? The donation link is on the website, right?
Yes, it's on the website.
Okay,
It's
I'll make sure.
also if you ever go to our Instagram, it's in our link tree in
Okay.
our bio as well. So like yes,
I'm at
we accept it
listen,
all.
y'all donate to my
Yes.
sisters over there. Okay. Make sure
Yes.
we
And we
support me.
also yes, and all donations don't have to be monetary. We also have had opportunities for volunteers as well, and we are more than happy to sign off on any like college credits that you need or work credits or anything. We're like more than happy to open that opportunity up, and we love, love, love working with volunteers. So when we have those events that we need that, we definitely post that and look for that as well. Um, and we're also hiring, and that's on our Instagram. We're looking for anyone who wants to work on social media management as well as secretary. Uh, and so, yes, well, you can look on our
Listen.
Instagram for more information on that. Um, but yeah, and how do you find me? I'm just on Instagram at Nekaybaw's Groove. Shout out to Beyonce. And so, uh, yeah, that's how you'll find me.
You know what? I ought to clip. I'm gonna clip that part because that is so funny. That was so random. Shout out to Beyonce.
Shout out to Beyonce.
I'm going to clip that out because that is
Yes.
hilarious. When I tell y'all, I'm gonna be like, so I just got through interviewing, chatting with Miss Nekeb, and this is
Mhm.
what she had to say at the very end, y'all. Yeah, that's hilarious.
Yeah, but no, that's the best way I think to find us is it's the easiest way just to go onto our website, queerblackwomenalliance.org.
All right.
And yeah. So,
I love it. Thank you, my dear, so much. This was wonderful, informative, and I want you to have a very, very good rest of your Saturday. We will be in touch. We'll be in
yes,
touch because
please.
I
Stay in
have
touch.
several things that I want to talk to you about, as well as some business ideas myself. So thank you all so much. I appreciate you.
Thank you. Thank you for
Tell
providing this platform. I'm really, really, really like grateful to work with you, and we appreciate all of the work that you do within the community and getting those
oh,
voices out. So again, thank you for this opportunity. And it has been a great time.
all right. Thank you, my dear. I appreciate it. Thank you.
Thank you.